So many exciting things with regard to artificial intelligence for real estate agents. I'm going to cover five that I believe are incredibly important, and I utilize them in my business. One of the things that I will tell you, if you are a real estate agent, I think the best position for us to be is to pull away from the syndication sites that are very good. They have almost unlimited money to be able to put artificial intelligence into their business, build algorithms in which to attract both buyers and sellers as leads, and of course sell that information back to you. Breaking all the rules, I think we should kind of pull away from that. I'm going to kind of explain things that you can do on your end with one of the actual large language models like a Grok 3 or a Claude or a Chat GPT or a Microsoft's model Copilot, whichever one you happen to be using and be comfortable with. These are some of the things that you can further develop in your business actually help. So, the first one we're going to talk about is AI powered property valuations. Now, of course, the Z estimates, these sorts of things, and the syndication sites, whether they're great or not in your mind, it is nice to go into your local MLS database to be able to pull the same information. So, the one thing that I would do, just like you're doing a CMA on a property, you're pulling out the comparables to be able to compare to the property that you're looking at, obtaining a particular market value on. You'll take all that information and either put it in PDF or maybe in a text file, whichever way you want it, but PDFs work great. And you're going to take it, you're going to save it, and you're going to put that into whichever large language model you happen to use, and then ask it several prompts. You're going to want to ask it questions pertaining to the documents you put in and be very clear. Say, listen, I'm putting together a valuation for a particular property, and then give it the information for the property. You can do it via property profile or something of that nature. And then you're going to want it to give it the other data. You're going to want it to give that AI model the basic solds that have occurred that are very close to that particular subject property that have closed within the last 90 days or 180 days, depending on your market, depending on how many there happen to be, and then also establish where you gather the information from. And it's going to be looking at sold prices. And then just start to prompt it and ask it questions. You'll be shocked at some of the information it will give you. And then you can then take that information and build it out for a real estate seller to be able to show them. If you're trying to tell a real estate buyer or trying to talk to them about the particular data points about a property that they might be interested in purchasing, as far as how they should structure and make that offer, then of course you can use it for that as well. So now we have predictive market analysis. That's for forecasting housing trends and buyer demand with AI driven insights. Again, looking at the local markets, you can give it sold data. And then with the sold data in your MLS, if you're able to find out if, in fact, your MLS is going to provide you with the types of loans that were generated, that's the information that you would want it to chew on in that regard. In addition, if you have a title officer, they can also look and pull data sheets, basically homes that have a particular amount of mortgage left to pay. Maybe the owners are in a certain age range. Maybe the properties are empty nest type properties. Find out what kind of parameters your title officer can pull. And I don't know if it's legal in your area. It would be here where we are in California, but get from them lists that you can use. Maybe people that are going through divorce, maybe divorce filings, maybe local business owners, those sorts of things. You can take that data and put it into any one of the large language models. You'll be surprised what kind of information it's going to give you pertaining to that local market. And yes, that is very much predictive, because then, based on the sales prices, aligning those properties that the title pulled and also that closed escrow, you're going to see some very interesting information, and you might actually predict that next sale in that next neighborhood. Go door knock and talk to them, and you might be surprised to find out, oh my gosh, we were actually just going to call an agent, and there you are, bells and whistles and all. Virtual tours, listing descriptions, of course, this is easy. If you're looking to have that beautiful listing description, that Pulitzer Prize winning poetic masterpiece describing a house that you're listed for sale, that's actually a good thing to use them for. And it depends on which one you're most comfortable with as to which one you're going to use. But again, you'll want to give it the information about the property and make sure you go through that listing description if that's what you're going to have it do. Make sure you go through with a fine tooth comb just to ensure that the information that it's giving you is accurate. And I'll give you a little example from my neck of the woods. If you put that a couple bedrooms have ceiling fans and no further, sometimes the system is going to say every room has a ceiling fan, which would not be accurate. And of course, yes, the buyer's going to go through, they're going to see that. But if it's in print, you want to make sure it is factual 100% of the time. So I would go, other things that are not, that are a little bit more gray or vague, like, open concept or lots of natural light, that's subject to feeling. But if it says every room has a ceiling fan and not every room has one, again, that's a problem. So you're going to want to go through it. Now, listing the virtual tours, typically, I don't know how your market is out here. We're going to utilize a virtual tour company, somebody with a fancy camera. I don't know how much longer that's going to be. I remember there at the beginning, before those tour companies came in, when we went from basically the wet film technologies, the cameras or the fancy Nikons that were using, the 24, the 36 roll of actual wet film that you would take from the camera and go take it to a 24-hour photo processing place or a Walmart or whatever place you had develop your pictures. Again, I'm dating myself. But now from that, it went to the cell phone. And then a lot of us were shooting those properties with the phone. And then the virtual tours kind of developed and became even better because they included these walk-through hot points where you actually move yourself through a house. And that process is also evolving. I've seen some very interesting apps on the telephones, though, that build out some pretty remarkable things, except the lighting just isn't there. I think for not much expense, you might be able to get past that point. But again, there really is nothing like a virtual tour. Typically, they add extra supportive measures like maybe a website and other things to basically take that particular home for sale and SEO it a little bit better. But again, it depends on the company. But that could be something you also use one of these models for, maybe organizing the photos, labeling the photos, doing different things, not misleading on the photos, not marking them up or adjusting them and photoshopping them in such a way that it becomes misleading or not true. But there are cool ways to add furniture to spaces and these sorts of things, which actually wouldn't be misleading at all. I believe adding furniture and other things in a vacant house via the AI method is would be legal. You might have to put some kind of a disclaimer in there, but the room itself is going to be true to form. Whatever you put in as far as the furniture, if you add that in later, again, shouldn't be an issue as long as we're not including the furniture. And I do know that if you go into a new housing development or new contracted house, you'll see that they dial it in with all that furniture. It's just impeccable, and in with the upgrades as well. I wouldn't start putting upgrades into the property that it doesn't have, almost passing that expense on to the buyer looking like you're a new housing tract. The new houses are able to basically put that in there because they sell that as an option at the upgrade center. Automated property management. Again, this is not bad because you can also use this as a resale agent because you'll be able to craft emails a lot more strategically than maybe you might normally would. Again, the AI models I like to look at, it's pretty much the smartest person in the room at this point, and especially when I'm in the room. But I have it take emails that I might think that I'm going to respond in a certain way. And if it's a really important email that I'm writing, I might have ChatGPT or one of the other systems look at it for me and give me their opinion and tell me what, in fact, they might change, if anything, and give them the idea I have in mind, what I want exactly the email or the response email to convey. And it definitely does help. And then finally, AI chat bots for lead nurturing. This is something that I've been working on automating for agents that are working with me. If you go to scvleads.com, that's a system where you can buy into the listings to leads platform. And I believe through my account, you'll get 14 days access for free. But that system is doing a lot of integration. Besides an actual chat bot that I'm working on, which is an entirely different structure, there's a lot of good benefits there at the listings to leads platform, and you can get there by scvleads.com. However, in the responses with the emails, Even chatbots are able to be put together. That's something that either can live on your website or on your social media platforms. You'd be surprised in real estate how many people don't have websites anymore. But for me, it's become very invaluable. I do a lot of blog writing. And if you write content about your local real estate market and publish it somewhere, long form content, 3 and 4 thousand words, having that sitemap from the website, at least for me, has been invaluable for hyperlinking to different pages and giving information to people looking to buy and sell real estate in the Santa Clarita Valley and elsewhere here in Southern California. I'm Connor with Honor. I hope this helped. These are the 5 things that you can do today to start using artificial intelligence in your real estate business. If you're ready for my help, want to integrate a little bit more deeply, reach out to me. I would love to be that contact point. Be well. Thanks for watching.